Well, we're back over here where we're replacing Ed's foundation in early January. We just wanted to do a few things while the snow's melted away. This is the worst part of living in the western New York State. It's not the snow and the cold. It's when we get this kind of Indian summer or whatever. It's like 50 something and rain. Anyway, he's got an interior fresh air line for his sewer system. And this is where we had foundation collapse, but it was there. So rather than out in the front yard somewhere like the neighbors got over there, common to septic systems and stuff too. See that little, where's my finger? That little stub out there is your fresh air, which keeps you from drawing a vacuum on the system when you are sending materials, poo-poos, outside. So anyway, that's built into the foundation wall here. And at the neighbor, not one but two down, that's the same vintage and style home. It's just on the front of their foundation, which was a good indicator, which is what our guy filled us in with here. But he's continuing to send the snake in, and then using the sand to locate it out here. We've established that this comes along like that, but unfortunately it hooks right under our intended storage container location. So we don't want to load this with storage and then come to replace this later. So we're going to dial in our location with maybe one more mark at the street. Yeah, and we got to worry about Podzilla has to have overhead room to deliver our pod, so we'll find out if that's an issue too. So we'll either find out that we can scoot the pod back and give us clearance to dig and replace this line down the road on the project, or we'll put the pod on this side. Now I'm getting rained on, so I'm going to pack it in for now, but this is something that if you're doing something like this, you want to get to this sooner rather than later. I wanted marks right before digging, but we need them now because the storage pod's coming now so that they can chip away at storage. And so I'm going to have to find a good way I'll put this on their site plan that we don't have yet because there wasn't one, and we'll put something kind of permanent. I may just hammer drill a couple holes in the asphalt to hold those locations because it's not gonna, the paint won't last past today even with this rain. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you. Okay, well, it's finally time to start working actively on site for this foundation replacement. Ed has been busy dragging stuff up the stairs. He's got a homemade like sledge thing he's using here because he's no spring chicken, but I would be doing that too. There's a lot of stuff to get rid of. This is something I was going to mention later on in the video, but for example, this floor in here is a step up from the rest of the floor because it's got a framing system of some kind in here, and so things like this are too much to be bringing up the stairs out of the house that way. So like eventually we're going to break on through to the other side, kind of right here with the skid steer, and load out this original framing, the floor box framing, that carpet on it, anything else down here. There's sticks in here that he wants to save, so we'll set those aside, but all this panel board and the ductwork we're keeping to hook his furnace back up with, but if something gets monkeyed up or anything like that on the way out of here, we will chuck it as well. Although, you got more lights down here, Ed? Over on this far side? Just wanna, what do we do? You know, plug it in, or? If you remember, this was all shelving here that you can see straight through it now. He's pulled the skin off the wall, which is good. Yes, okay. We found the sewer. I don't think we did a video that day. We might have. Maybe we did. Anyway, we found the sewer line where it runs out at the road, so I'll see that later. He's cleared off all these shelves. It's getting down to throwing away. It's all got to be the organic material that we can't load out with the trucks of dirt and broken concrete, so that's got to be a separate. That stuff's going to go into the dumpster. Okay, I'm going to head out and look at that. I'm going to cover the dumpster quick, Ed, and around the house outside, then I got to get going, all right? Run that stuff by Beth, and let me know what you guys decide. As soon as you guys know what we're doing, then I can get everything else going. So, all right, man. Catch you later. All right. So he's got stuff staged to go out. We got the pod outside. Ooh, it is raining now. This is why I haven't started today, because I didn't want to get rained on. Even though I've got the Storm Defender. What is this thing? Yeah, Storm Defender. I'm good. Anyway, oh, dropped my book right in the mud. That's my karma. He's got a few things started into this dumpster. We got a 20 yard, I want to say. It was only $30 more than a 15-yard delivery. I had wanted it closer to the road, but this is where we ended up here. So we also had to check setback here. That's a pig mess. I'm going to put that in the truck real quick. So we had concerns about the room, the 3-season room. It's funny when you make a series and you start calling something by a certain name and then you feel like you have to keep using. It's more of a porch, enclosed porch, whatever. On the side here has become sort of, I don't want to call it a point of contention, but it's where the rubber's going to meet the road here. We're going to get it out of our contractor's way, who's going to do the lifting and the excavating here, because the chimney's going to be trouble, like we said earlier, and just getting it out of here, he said the price is going to be better, etc. However, the distance from the actual property line to the neighbor and the face of it has got to be 10 feet. It's called setback in this village. And we weren't sure that we were exactly at 10 feet, or if we're not. So anyway, once you take it down, it had been grandfathered, but if you try to come back and replace it, which they would like to do with something, even if it's just a simple deck, it may not necessarily be able to come out as far as it used to, because you'd be into the setback and you'd have to get a variance. And so we just want to know what we're looking at here. So I did a cursory yellow or orange dash, kind of where it seems like the property line probably is, and I pulled 10 feet off of it, which is here. But as you can see, it's going to be tight. And so a final piece of this puzzle was that there is no site survey on hand of the town for this property showing the house on it or anything. And the sale of, normally there would have been with the sale of this, but I believe that they inherited this property. So then there was no survey drawn at that time. So there was nothing. And so we're going to have one done. We will know where the property line is. We will know if the structure currently is in the setback at all. And we'll know. But it doesn't matter. I've run it by them and they understand. It'll either come back a little bit narrower or something, but it is coming down for the sake of this project. And I had hoped to do an outside stairwell here, which was kind of shown like here. And it would have come up and likely, possibly completely obscured or mostly obscured this window and had a simple one plane roof, like shed type roof on it like this, with a door at the top of it. So you'd swing the door in onto a landing, and then you'd go down the stairs and you'd make a left into the foundation, which is what I like to see as an outside stairwell. But they felt it was infringing here on this little grotto area, and there really was no other logical place for obscuring window again here. And so we thought maybe you'll have to have an egress window in that case in New York State, whether it's one or the other, the egress window or the stairway outside, with some other caveats. And so they moved to the egress here, and that's what's shown. But I just think that, there's the door inside over there, and I don't know, it's quite obvious here. And this is sort of where they spend time, and it's more of the backyard proper. And while this is a side yard, they want to have a walkway and, again, a grotto with a little stone patio and stuff like that. To be over there where the window has always been, which is the one that's right at the bottom of the basement stairs, it's collapsing, the one that I'm going to come through in the end. I think that's a nice place for the egress window, especially since it's going to be our lane and our hot route for a long time on this project, and we won't have an outside stairwell. The actual coming and going to the basement, it would be nice if it could be done. I know that's only the part of the project that happens at the beginning, but it really makes a difference on the overall cost. In fact, there's going to be collateral damage on the overall cost in time spent here, not having that hot route outside stairs just in general. So, not that I'm punishing anyone, it just ends up being like that, because you just got to goof around sometimes if you haven't got a full-blown stairway to get where you're trying to go. And in terms of other windows, obviously nothing on the garage, but I think we'll have one here. I think we're going to go to 2 here if we can get the egress around on the other side. We'll go to 2 windows, and a lot of these will be a series of glass block with a vented glass block, so that we don't lose the ability to at least open a little bit for breeze sake. But that keeps the bottom of it off the ground easily, lets a good quality amount of sunlight in, and dresses up the look of the exposed foundation wall, because currently this has always been sort of tight, and I think we're going to be better. We're going to be more like 2 feet, a hard 2 feet showing. I think at least. You can quote me on that. Looking for that hard 24 inches. Anyway, I'm not working in the rain today, but we're going to kick things off tomorrow when it starts. Tomorrow's supposed to be a mid-40s and sunny, and another day this week. I wanted a full work week, but it just isn't the case unless you're going to get soaked. And it's also dangerous. There's mud and the ladders and everything with rubber boots on so that you're comfortable. Next thing you know, you do a split and break your ass. And he's got his pod. Oh, here's the line that we show. I think I'm going to cut that video in a little bit. We got a little footage of that maybe. Maybe I did like 27 minutes of talking about that. I never know. I don't fucking know. gonna open this. Yeah, it's making some good progress here. It's a big project, and this is personal, creative history here, and I am very sympathetic. He's done a really nice job here. The man has it in him to be organized and everything. It's just things get out of control, and he's been working with, I couldn't have done much better down there because the walls are just falling in, you know. So pleased to see that. He's been downsizing a lot, getting rid of things that, you know, are important history to his professional life and whatever, but we're not having any problems personal here whatsoever on that stuff. I just think it needed an impetus to have to make the decision. So this old silicones and stuff from casting resin and that types of stuff is just tricky to get rid of, so you just set it aside and to deal with later, and then you move it over here and you move it over there, and it gets moved behind something else, and then it gets covered, and 25 years go by accident. I'm experiencing this in my own life. Where does the time go? All right, guys, we're going to, it's late March. Over the next few months, we're going to rip at least a video a week, probably raw, straight to YouTube. Watch me totally fail to do that much. But this is a biggie. We're going to put this baby on a brand spanking new foundation and upgrade the electrical service and sewer lines. We're going to move the utilities, the gas meter outside. We're going to put radiant heat in the flooring of the situation, I believe. We just looked at the entryway vestibule. If it's compromised to a certain extent on the bottom, we may add a foot overall to it so we get a little actual coats and boot space on either side rather than just all showing and no going. We have a little bit of room to squidge it over 6, 8, 10 inches on either side before we are uncomfortably close to the shutter. Well, at least 8 inches anyway. Most importantly, at the eaves to the shutter right there. You don't want that too tight. Okay, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you.